Wow, I like that bumper music. I have no idea what they're saying in it, but it gets me pumped up. So, welcome everybody here. Looks like we have over a dozen people on here, which is fantabulous. Um, I know that very quickly we're getting over 500 views on these videos, these helpful troubleshooting MOTT training videos that we're doing right here. And so I want to invite you. I mean, I don't think liking is going to happen. It's only if you post or share or talk about these videos, especially just the MK Quilts YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate that. Get more people involved. So today we're going to talk about our Pro Stitcher tablets and specifically some uh, bad information being shared. It's not critically bad, but I wanted to, it's one of those reasons where it'd be like me trying to teach ice skating. I can barely skate. Well, I can't skate backwards. I'd probably fall down. It's been 20 years. But the short um, the short answer is we're going to cover some of the performance issues with the tablets and some of the bad information I've seen on the internet about how to fix it. So, before we do that, I'm not going to force you to watch my pre recorded thing, but we're going to have a little fun because I always like to explain what MOD is, who we are, why we're here. And to make this fun, I'm going to go, Alexa, start a 1 minute timer. Okay, the one time she doesn't listen to me. Alexa, set a 1 minute timer.
1 minute, starting now.
Okay, so here we go, everybody. What is MOTT? MOTT is the Machine Owner Technician Training program that we've started here at MK Quilts. Please go to the website. You can find it 6 different ways from Sunday. I'll have it linked below. But effectively, what we're dealing and offering here is a right to repair. You may not have a good trusted technician around. You may have um, an avoidance of downtime. You may be running your own business. You really need to be able to do the basic maintenance. And if it's just timing, we have just straight timing videos on the university that you can purchase. But I urge you, this allows you to service your machine and, if necessary, crack it open safely and do things. So we've got um, included support from certified technicians, including myself. We're open more than Handy Quilter. We respond quicker. I probably have the biggest supply of parts. Alexa, stop. Wow. Yeah, the time flies. I can't even fit that into 1 minute. So I invite you to come down to Alexa, stop. That one's always difficult. I'm just saying. So check out the university. We could call this the sponsorship for this video here, because after this live YouTube video, we will go and jump to a Google Meet where the members can ask questions, do Q&A, and we get a lot more in-depth on issues. So that went a lot faster than I thought it would, but I hope you found that entertaining. So one other thing that I like to mention, though, too, is this is live. A lot of this just gets thrown out here, information and such. What we do in a lot of cases is we create shorter videos where you don't have to put up with my stuttering and all my ums. And that stuff is also available for reference. So if he said something about the hook and basket, you can search on hook and basket and you can get the little tidbits of information. So there's a lot of ways we're trying to present that. Okay, so back to the tablets. Okay, so this could be an hour-long discussion, and there's lots of information out there. But basically, you have Pro Stitcher Premium, which is up to version 537 available out there, and that's the standard version that most people have been using for the last 2 years. We're still using it in our studio. We do have the new beta of Pro Stitcher Connect out there. We haven't rolled forward on that yet. It's looking fairly good. We'll continue to test it, and we'll let our followers know when they should consider upgrading. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But Pro Stitcher Premium has been out for many years. There used to be a Pro Stitcher Standard Edition, I think they called it when they upgraded. But the Pro Stitcher Premium's been running under Windows. But the big difference with that is they were creating an image of the operating system running Pro Stitcher on it and not letting you change it at all. If you put it on the internet and an update loaded, it would break. Lots of things like that. So Pro Stitcher Connect allows you to put it on the internet, which is a good and a bad thing. Good thing is, if you let it do the Windows updates and then shut it off, you're going to have a stable environment for your Pro Stitcher to run on. The other good thing is that we can do some remote access support to that now. It's something that Handy Quilter hasn't officially endorsed, but MK Quilts has its ways, so where we can actually get onto your system and help you troubleshoot some problems if you have them. Okay, so we won't get into all those details now, but you can check that out as part of our services. So some of the problems that Pro Stitcher Premium would have, and people, especially the older the tablets you get, some people are running tablets are running Windows 8, 8.1 underneath it. So I can't just say all tablets are going to work the same. But what we did find out with some of these tablets is that they'd have performance issues and Pro Stitcher would start locking up or running slow. And there are actually some tech notes out on this is the issue. I actually flagged to them and told them how to fix, and they finally got the tech note out. But mysteriously, the antivirus software on one of the several of the older tablets, even of our customers, would start taking around backup processing. Okay, they'd start basically checking Pro Stitcher log files and things, something they shouldn't be doing, and nobody had touched the tablet. So it's a mystery. And in short, this tech note here describes how to disable the antivirus on those older tablets just for the directories and things, so that you're not on the internet anyway, so why do you need all this antivirus stuff going on there? So back to our root PDF that I viewed from someone on the internet. Two items they talked about was you can just run disk cleanup, delete a bunch of files, and then run defrag, and it'll make your computer run better. Well, logically and most simply put, if your disk drive in your tablet is not 80-90% full, you've got plenty of contiguous update space for things to write to. And the size of your designs you're loading up and other things onto the tablet to run are usually so small that I have not seen a tablet that has a disk space issue. Okay, now the reason why I flagged this defrag comment was to defrag is the idea of moving the data around on the disk so it's in a contiguous stream so it reads faster and that you have bigger spaces so you can write things out. All of these things have nothing to do with why the Pro Stitcher is having issues. Now, you can have software issues on the older versions. 537's been a lot more stable. You can do reloads with resets, and I apologize. My phone's dinging. So my point is just be careful what you hear on the internet there. Most issues with the Pro Stitcher tablets right now are with something in the background, including the latest versions here. If you enable Wi-Fi and an update's downloaded and it's working in the background, most of these tablets that people are using nowadays do not have a strong enough CPU to run both Pro Stitcher and do a bunch of background stuff. Okay? And so if they're crunching in the background, like on the older systems with the antivirus, Pro Stitcher is going to be waiting for the computer to do something, and eventually a timeout or something will happen, and it leads to a lot of problems. So we don't have time here. We'll talk about it more in our MOTT post-game show about accessing and using Task Manager to look at what's really going on the system. So uh, that's the main points I wanted to get across right now. I'm going to check the chat real quick. Uh-oh, the MK must be on here as well. Okay. All right, she hasn't joined me very often, so I'm impressed. All right, so without her throwing me off, one thing that I think is helpful for people to know how to do is how do you identify which tablet you have. If you go to prostitcher.com and you log in, which I have done, they require you to log in for a lot of it, create an account. If you go under hardware and go through the ProStitcher upgrade tablet, okay, just a little commercial here. Come to us if you are going to look for an upgrade. The $595 basically is the retail price just for a tablet upgrade. If you are going chewy to chewy or for some reason don't need the full brackets and things, which is why they ask what's your current model and things like that. But most of the upgrades from the really older tablets are going to be about $850. That includes the brackets, cables, and the latest tablet. Now, if you buy your tablet through us, we will do all the upgrades, all the OS upgrades. That can take 2.5 hours. We'll make sure this is sweet and working before we ever ship it to you. So that's another reason for getting it through MK Quilts. So there is a link here, the compatibility chart. And I noticed when you hit tablet compatibility, there is a nice video here. If you need it to help you identify the type of tablet you have, they go through the last major 6 tablets and show you different views of them so that you can know which tablet you have. But if you go down here, and you can also just look at images, you can see anything from a Alpha Acer Switch 12, Acer Switch 3, and the Chewies, they support PS Connect. The rest of them are older operating systems, older hardware. You cannot load PS Connect on those systems, so you're still at 537, which is not a bad thing. Okay, 537 is still a very functional and stable, and my old scenario is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But also, if you are looking at potentially having downtime should your tablet fail, you might want to get an upgrade in the wings so that you can keep running. But we can usually ship those out quickly. Like I said, we spend hours pre-staging them, making sure that when you get them, you don't have to spend that extra time of loading the Windows updates and things. Alrighty there. So that's the reference. You can go to there and check out which tablet you have. I'm checking out the chat right now. Yep, one of our happy customers commenting there that we had it ready to go. Now that I understand most of you are just quilters. You don't want to be computer nerds. I'm 30 now, 35 years. Well, wow. Melissa, we've been at this a long time, but let's just say I have many years of being a computer nerd, and I do know this stuff inside and out. And so what we try and do is take that load off you, which is why if you buy a tablet from us, let's see if I can, this one should be set up for it. I'm just going to exit to Windows from ProStitcher, and you will find a little icon, which I can't really show you here, on your desktop that would allow us to remotely access your system, but only once you turn on Wi-Fi. And just so you know, it's the same thing we use to do desktop support as well. It's called Splash Top, and you have to give us verbally the code that comes up with it. So there's no security holes or anything in there, but it can be run from a USB as well. But we just put it on the desktop so that you can enable it and you don't have to be a computer nerd. Okay, so let's talk about a couple other things since we have time. Like I said, a lot of these details are usually stuff we save for our um, after live feed, YouTube live feed, when we go into the Google Meets and people can ask detailed questions. But let's talk about a little bit of the differences that happen when you're upgrading, because if you are trying to upgrade a tablet from PS Premium on your own, we do have a free, it's actually called downgrading, because that for now we're saying upgrade, but then downgrade to 537 just for the best environment now until we approve the beta. Then you can just upgrade to the beta and stay there. But right now there is a free video on the MK Quilts University. It's like a 2-hour video. You can fast forward through things. We cut it down, but it shows you every step it took me to take a fresh computer out of the box, load it to the latest version of Pro Stitcher Connect, and then back it down to the 537 Pro Stitcher Premium. So like I said, if you're willing to take the time, you can do it yourself, and we have the video out there. But the main thing with PS Connect, if you have a tablet, it will load the network drivers for your Wi-Fi, which will then allow it to be put on your local Wi-Fi. I have run into certain technical issues with the older tablets in that they don't like certain Wi-Fi routers, depending. Basically, the drivers that they initially load don't support the newer networking router protocols. This is all technical BS, but there are issues you can run into. There's little ways to work around it, but usually you can get it uploaded fairly easily. Let's see, I covered all that. All right, there are different versions of Chewy tablets out there. The PS Lite, the ones that go with the Moxies, have an extra USB port because they don't have the hub on the back. There are a few of you out there that lucked out with Infinities that got the Surface Pro, which was a very expensive tablet to be putting on these machines. You'll see that in the video as well. Most people ended up with Chewy's or Acer's with their systems. Okay. Yeah, stay away from defrag. The other thing I wanted to show you, technical wise, is defragmentation used to make sense when computers had big hard drives in them. And then many laptops, and some of you may have a 4-year-old laptop or whatever, and they may have come with this is still a hard drive with spinning disk. You can sort of see the wheel there, the center part of it. This had moving parts in it, okay? Anyone who's been following me knows I've talked about SSD, solid state devices. I talked to one of our customers just a week or so ago. She has a really good computer, but she bought a physical spinning hard drive in that computer, and I told her, go spend the $150 to have a Geek Squad mirror it, swap it out, and get one that's filled with chips. And they come in the same form factor. They're cheap. The drives themselves are like $70 for a terabyte. That will improve that computer's performance 30 to 40%. Okay, it takes a special cable, some mirroring, some time, so it's probably worth it. But instead of throwing away a $500 laptop and buying a $700 or $800 laptop, just spend the $150 and you'll be a lot happier with that. What do I mean by electronics? Most new computers now don't have this form factor, but their hard drive, that's where they get the term hard drive. But their drive is really, okay, this isn't an enclosure, I'll take it apart, but it's usually now, let's see if this works. I've got magic camera here. All right. Ooh. It has a computer chip, which, if it'll focus on it. Anyways, computer. This is a 1 terabyte. That's 1,000 gigabyte storage device right now. There's a bunch of little chips underneath the sticker, and it is this one I put in an external. So it's like an external hard drive. Just plug it in the computer. It's good to go. But that's fast. Now the problem is defrag will damage those things. It'll wear them out because each memory location can only be written to a certain number of times. You can read from it a lot, but writing to it, they wear out. And they're built to automatically move data as one area wears out and move it along. But defrag basically rewrites the data, moves it around. That is something you want to definitely avoid with SSDs. Okay, so ignore that. If you want to do disk cleanup to clear up space, empty your trash can or whatever, that's not going to hurt anything, but it's unnecessary unless you see that when you go to my PC and you see you're filling up and you're running out of space, just don't worry about it. Any performance issue you're having with ProStitcher is most likely caused to the CPU, the brain contention. It's doing all this work and ProStitcher's waiting to be serviced, and it hangs up. Now, one other hang up issue, and this is, I'm giving away all this stuff for free, but Adam, when he was doing an upgrade on a tablet, he had an issue with the touch screen not working. Okay, it looked like ProStitcher had hung up, and this is while we were going through the upgrades. I think it finally rectified itself, but we found that if you took an external mouse, even one with the cord, which I don't have in there, and plug it in the USB port, we could control the mouse on the screen. It was only the screen that had frozen up. So if you are dealing with hanging issues on your ProStitcher, that would be a good troubleshooting thing to try, is to plug in an external mouse and see if the program's really hung up or not. Because if you can get the mouse going, you can shut everything down nicely, reboot it, and hopefully get things back going. Open a service call through our support site. Let me quick show you that as well here. This is not blatant advertising, but we have a beautiful mkquilts.com website. Yes, we quilt, do lots of things. Please check us out. But at the top, click button for support. This should be where you're going, because you can scroll down here. We've got our virtual tech tools all set up, in some videos on how to use them. But here in yellow, you have 5 guides, and one of them is resolving ProStitcher issues. You can read it here. You can download it. 99% of the issues you're going to run into are going to be covered by these guides here. So they're free. Check them out. Oh, I bet I didn't. Did I have this open? I apologize. I will do that one more time. So our website, click for support, scrolling down. All right. So I do need a producer sometimes. I'm not sure what I clicked. All right. I hope this is all being helpful. We're getting down to the wire. Let me check the chat here. I was still on screen share. Okay. So we'll work to get better here, and eventually we'll probably get some professional help as well. So premium performance, like I said, we'll be talking post game on Task Manager for those who don't know how to access some of that and some of the details as part of the MOTT membership. And trust me, if you become a member, you're doing a lot to support our efforts to communicate and make this information available to people. So there are tech notes, service manuals, and a lot of additional videos for assistance on our site. I think I've covered everything I wanted to here. By the way, to promote Paco here, you'll see her a lot on our chats. Paco is one of our new owner instructors. She She's basically in charge. We realize sometimes just online training is not enough for our new machine owners. If you've got a new machine and you're hunting around for training, clearly MK Quilts and the university has a lot for you, including Melissa's new owner training, just the basic training that you're supposed to get. We spent a lot of time putting together a really detailed video. But if you need more than that, you want a little bit of personal time, you want to be stepped through some of the information, we now have our new owner tutoring, our mentor training program that's available, and Paco is running that. So I thought I'd advertise that a little bit. Okay. So if there are no other questions, just remember our advice right now is just to wait another few weeks, maybe wait through June. Let us get comfortable with PS Connect and any issues we may see, and then we will be putting out additional helpful information on managing that. But I do want to say, if you are running PS Connect right now, when you are not running Pro Stitcher, go ahead and enable the Wi-Fi. Go into the, well, simplest way is leave it on overnight, once every month or something. It'll run the updates. It might even tell you it needs to reboot, but then you shut off the network. But by making sure the operating system is updated, you shouldn't have the issues that I believe we ran into in PS Premium days, where, like I said, the antivirus would start running or an indexing service or something would happen in the background. So I think we're heading in the right direction with a much more stable process here, but rely on MK Quilts to be your IT service, and please don't just take it to the Geek Squad or something like that. They don't understand Pro Stitcher and how you're using the thing. So just out of experience, that usually will result in problems. All right, I really appreciate the people that joined. I ask again, for those of you who are on social media elsewhere, share the good information, share this video link, let people know that we're out here willing to help you. And we also sell the machines. We have a used machine special going on. I will be posting a video on the budget Pro Stitcher Lite solutions that we have in shop as well, the pros and cons and things like that. So if you are interested, please take the time over the summer to give us a call, and we will help you learn. So with that, I am going to cut the feed, and all my members that are waiting for me on the Google Meet session, it will take me a minute or so to get over there, but I will be there shortly. So everybody have